I have two items from the Korean online brand Wishtrend. Now this is a company I am actually an affiliate with, so I get to try out skincare products from time to time, and then that way I can just provide my own thoughts. This is Wishtrend's Pure Vitamin C 21.5%. This is their advanced serum. The bottle is nice and cool because I took it out of my fridge. Prior to receiving this one from Wishtrend, I was using my Timeless Vitamin C. I've mentioned that one quite a bit in my empties. So I finished that one up, and right when I ended, I started this. Day one of using this, it's done. I was kind of anticipating that because I'm going up a percentage, but boy, did I feel that. And I felt it for an entire week. I kid you not, an entire week. And I just took it. I personally am pleased with the Wishtrend versus the Timeless. I just like how it's storing the best in the fridge. And hey, if it's not spoiling and I'm able to really reap the benefits of it, I'm going to continue to use it. And personally, I will use my own funds to continue purchasing it because I've already been purchasing all the vitamin C prior, spending this, it's roughly about the same amount of money for the Timeless and the Wishtrend. I don't mind that. If you want to see some trials, you want to see some prior data on my skin, I'm going to have the skincare playlist listed in the info box. I recommend take a look at those videos from, I would say, January of this year, the prior year as well, when you can really see my skin in those skin videos with no makeup on. I have no problems showing my bare face on camera. It doesn't bother me. But really seeing how the fluctuations in the hyperpigmentation and how they are reacting and looking on my skin. Those are the trials. That's the data. I mean, it's there for me as well, but also for you. Wishtrend also sent me the Vitamin 75 Maximizing Cream. This is the box that it comes in. I'm going to quickly read you this on the side of the bottle. It says the cream contains 75% vitamin water extracted from sea buckthorn trees, which is a vitamin tree, and natural oils that contain vitamin E. I've said this on the channel before in the skin videos, how vitamin E helps vitamin C absorb into the skin, and it increases how it's going to be effective on the skin. So they work in conjunction to help work its best potential. It absorbs well into the skin. I feel it gives me the hydration. Again, its purpose is to help the vitamin C do its job. And especially at night, you're going to bed, your skin is repairing itself. So anything you can do to help with that, I'm for that. So I do like that. The next item is from the brand Sunday Riley, and this is the CE.O. And this is actually the Rapid Flash Brightening Serum. I think this works fast. I do. I think probably by the third week, you can see some sort of a difference in any type of your dark spots that you have. So I was happy with this. The problem is the price. I recommend if you can get a couple samples, get a couple samples and leave them in your fridge. You can find another one of the perks, use it, keep it in your fridge, and just see, pay attention to the marks, pay attention to your hyperpigmentation or just the overall texture and so forth of your skin, and see if you can see a difference. Because again, it's going to be different on everybody else. I did see a difference. I picked up another mask, a 100-point perk from Ole Henriksen. This is the Balance Cold Purge Pore Mask. It reminds me of a smell like mint and kale and sulfur kind of mixed in one, if that even makes sense. First initial reaction putting this on for the first time I wore it as a mask, I felt it was probably best for people with oily skin. I have to admit that, because I have normal skin that will lean towards dry. So I was kind of like, feeling a little tight here, like it's trying to get oil and so forth out of my skin. So I don't leave it on as long as I probably would with any other mask. It certainly isn't like that one that I have where it will actually mimic a clay mask, but it's hydrating at the same time. That's the mask that I prefer over something like this. I finally found Trader Joe's Rose Water Facial Toner Spray. I have gone to several Trader Joe's, just going about, and if I see it, I'll stop, and they're always out of stock. I don't know what's going on with this. This is 4 ounces. I don't even remember how much it was. I think it was like $5. If you have this, let me know. I do like the mist, how it comes out. Let me do it for you. Can you hear that? It's a mist that is, it's fine, but enough of it comes out. Oh my God, the smell. It comes out enough where it's watery, but it's not too watery, if that makes sense. I really do enjoy it. It's very refreshing. This is a spray I can use with skincare if I want. I can use it like as a toner. Let's say you have a Mario Badescu rose water toner. This one smells more like roses to me, like a more of a heavier scented rose versus like a Mario Badescu or the one from CE.O that I like. I will use it up, but I won't repurchase it because it really does smell like roses after a while. It really just kind of linger. My last skincare item is from Target. It's their Up and Up 3-in-1 Micellar water. Now I saw this, it's a new product, and I thought, oh, it's going to be like the makeup remover, the liquid eye makeup remover. I will go to my grave with that makeup remover. It is that good. This, I'm sad to say, I did not feel the same way. This is the oiliest micellar water I have ever used in my life. It is so oily. It literally feels like pouring oil on your face. There's just no other way to say it. I was shocked. No rinsing required? Oh, absolutely not. If you're someone that uses micellar water, you want to get all your stuff off, your makeup, and then you want to go about your business, be like, oh, I'm done. You will feel this on your skin. The driest of skin will probably be like, oh, this is really oily. It is that oily. No amount of shaking this and getting it together is cutting this down. I don't know what is in this formula. Now it works because it's so much oil. It works. I mean, everything comes off. You might want that to really break down and get everything off, but I highly recommend you wash your face after. There are other micellar waters you can use to get all the makeup off, but not feel like, you know, you fell in a tub of like an oil slick. I have a couple primers that I received. Now, this one from Honest Beauty is called their Everything Primer, and it says Matte Prep and Prime. Then this one is from Laura Mercier. So this is their Foundation Primer Radiance. Now, Honest Beauty came to me in an influencer box. This primer reminds me of the Bobbi Brown primer. The new Bobbi Brown went out. That is that matte, that blurring in one, but it's hydrating on the skin. I kid you not. First time I put this on, I was like, this reminds me of something. This reminds me of something. Ooh, what's it? And then I felt that cool sensation on my skin. I was like, it's the Bobbi. The Bobbi Brown primer is much more hydrating. It will appear more of like a matte texture on my skin. And then it turns a bit sticky because I can feel it. And then it's smoothed out. That's it. That's the only thing that's different. But my skin doesn't feel tight, doesn't feel dry. Yeah, I can move it around and everything, and it doesn't mess and interfere with the foundation itself. The next primer I had sent to me, now this is through Octoly, so I actually got to pick it out of my store, and then the brand sent it to me, complimentary. So it's a foundation primer, and it's the Radiance. Now I've tried every one of their primers from Laura Mercier except the Radiance. This primer reminds me of Becca's Backlight Spotlight. I think that's what it's called, primer. Now that foundation primer is what I use. I focus more as just that liquid highlighter because I just love how it looks on my skin. Love it. This is a lot more glowier than the Becca's. I also tried this in various ways, use it on my cheekbones, and it's the same appearance as the Becca. So, you know, if this is something, let's say you have, like I mentioned for the Becca Radiance Primer, if you're someone like, you know, it's just too much. It's too much having it all over my face. Just try my method where I just apply it as the liquid highlighter. You don't even have to put a powder on top. Just bare skin or with your foundation, it just blends right in and just looks so beautiful and natural. I tried one new foundation, which I received a sample of. It's Natasha Denona's Transformatte foundation. So that's the little messy container right there. I do have quite a bit left in there. It comes in 35 shades, various undertones. I noticed there's yellow, there's neutral yellow, there's regular yellow, there's cool tone, there's warm tone. Just kind of has all different types of undertones. Also on the description, it says that the foundation is a full coverage foundation. Now, this is something where I don't agree. I just don't agree. I feel that it is more so of a foundation that is a medium coverage, but it doesn't even like creep and go right up to the medium spectrum. Building it up and building it up, and I'm noticing it still is not building up to where I do not necessarily have to like pull in concealer, if at all. Therefore, I would say it's more like borderline. We're going over the light coverage and we're going into the medium, like light to medium, but not full medium, if that makes sense. It really reminds me of foundations that I already have in my collection. And so it wasn't a coverage, it wasn't a finish, it wasn't a performance that just blew me away, where I'm like, I need to make sure that I have that. I do have one loose powder to talk about. This is going to be really fast because you don't need me to tell you about this powder because everybody has it. But I did pick up another one, Laura Mercier's translucent powder through the Octoly store. Now, I was kind of surprised that there is quite a bit of Laura products in there for me to kind of pull out and use. This one, the Coty, just right here, front and center. It doesn't cake under my eyes. I love the finish, how it looks. I like to also bake with it for like the video inserts because I know a lot of people still bake. So if you're curious as far as, well, is this a powder that's good to bake with? Works fine, brushes off, no cakiness underneath my eyes, nothing too bright, just works fine. I also have it in medium deep, the ones for darker skin tones. So I do use that one when I need to kind of like self-adjust foundations that are too light or whatnot, just lifts the color up. So Laura, no introduction needed. I have a couple sponges I want to talk about. Now, the first one is from AOA Studio. Shop Mercier, I think that's what the actual store name is. This is the Wonder Blender, so there's packaging. As someone who is a heavy beauty blender user, I can definitely tell if there's something that is 100% dupe. So some people have been saying this is 100% dupe. No, it's not. This is not 100% dupe. Is it close? It's close, but it's not. I'll put it this way, I put it in the 80s if we're going by the percentage. It's not 100% at all. Now it's nice and soft. It is soft. Once it's wet, it grows, you know, same thing like the Beauty Blender, and it's nice and soft. But that is where I feel the similarities end. Once the sponge is wet, it feels exactly like a water balloon, you know, throwing water balloons at each other as a kid. That's what it feels like to me, like in my hand. But it also, performance-wise with the foundation or concealer, I've used it with blush. Whoa, okay, now the egg's gone. I've used it with highlighter. It's too damp. If I have to have a towel here and I'm wringing it out just to try and make it so the material is not so damp, we have a problem. I don't have to do that actually with any of my sponges. I don't have to do that, certainly not with the Beauty Blender, but that sponge is so damp and it interferes with the foundation application. Not that I feel like everything's kind of streaking, but I'm feeling I'm spending more time not only blending it out, I'm looking in the magnifying mirror because I'm like, it's so damp. Is there any splotchiness or whatnot going on? As far as it being a true Beauty Blender, 100% dupe, you know, to somebody, I'm going to be picky on that. I'm going to be like, okay, it better be to a tooth and nail, 100%. It's not. So it's not something I personally, I'm not going to recommend as far as if you want it to be a true Beauty Blender dupe. I would say go with Real Techniques, go with an EcoTools sponge. There's a lot of other beauty sponges out there that are very affordable that you can pick up. You don't have to go through the whole online Shop Mercier, but it's not 100%. And that's my thoughts. And that's the same thing with, this is the last sponge, the Juno sponge. I did get the standout one, but that will be next month, September's box, because I still haven't used it yet. I also saw Nikki tutorials using this sponge, and I was like, I remember I was doing my makeup, I had the video on, and when she started to talk about the sponge, I was like, what is Nikki using here? $6? Let me go ahead and get it a try. And I ordered it that same day because I knew it would sell out quickly. You know, when she opens her mouth, you know, it sells out, and it did. This is a learning curve with this sponge because it feels nothing like a beauty blender. Well, it's a different material completely, and it's soft, and you know, it's kind of that fuzzy feel to it. It's cut, so forth. Once it gets wet, it doesn't grow in size like a regular beauty sponge. It doesn't grow like that. It just feels wet. I like this side as far as to use wet or dry, just to really do, like, again, blush, highlighter. Foundation, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It was pulling, it was tugging, it was leaving like little patches here and there. That was just my experience, whether it's stippling it on, dabbing it on. I've seen in the company's video where you kind of drag it, and it just was not working. I wasn't impressed. Like the first day I was like, no, I don't like this. And I'm thinking, okay, give it a shot. Give it a shot again the next day. And every time I used it, I was like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. Another sponge I will just reserve for highlighter, blush, but foundation, concealer. Now, this is the last Laura product I picked out for this video. This is the Matte Radiance Baked Powder in Bronze 04. Now, I've never tried Laura Mercier's bronzers before. I just tried the highlighters in the last month's box, so I do enjoy that one. This is like a domed, almost said highlighter. It's a dome bronzer, like that baked appearance. This is a nice, soft, gentle bronzer on the skin. It's very natural. It's another like brown based bronzer that is going to give me that sun-kissed look. It has the tiniest amount of like that glow, the shimmer. It's nothing chunky, nothing glittery. It's very subtle. So I can build it up because I built it up and it looks, you know, quite strong, but I tend to just like, I just normally apply my bronzer on my cheeks and, you know, kind of like here, there, and everywhere. It looks very natural on the skin. I do like this. And I have a ColourPop bronzer that I have actually been using, doubling as a contour powder, and it's in Rodeo Dries. This is the next item that I got with the Shayla discount. So it's a nice matte bronzer, and it's a little bit darker than the Laura Mercier. It still has that nice warmth here on the cheeks. That's what I have on today and what I've been using. Then I just put on the bronzer, and that subtle appearance. You can build it up. Very nice color, and it's a nice complement actually to their existing one, the red base one that I use here, the bits and pieces. I can just kind of mix and match between the two. Another Natasha item, one eyeshadow palette. So I got to try the Tropic palette. So I did pick this up during the Sephora Weekly Wow. So it was heavily discounted. That was why I picked it up. Finally got to try her shadows. First time using the palette, just trying it out for the first time. What I noticed is it's easy to blend these shadows out. These shadows blend fast. I mean, I'm like, did I even do anything? They do. They blend fast. Now, these are the mattes here at the top. The shimmer shadows just go right on. I can pack on like a matte and then put the shimmer on. They're fine. They don't just get like all jumbled in the crease, especially if you have hooded eyes. They just, they lay fine. I did not have an issue with them. Now going down here to the textured, I did them in multiple ways. I would use my finger, but I also would just use my brush, and it picked it up and put it on. I think the most impact is with my finger, or I can use a Q-tip. One time I just used a Q-tip in a hurry. Then I've used this mint frost down here. I've used the yellow over here as teardrop shades, and they're fine. They weren't getting all over my eyes, falling down onto my base. it worked fine. I'm pleased with the palette. The last are lip products I received from CoverGirl. So they've sent a big box that had a bunch of lipsticks in them, and then their new lip liners too. So these lip liners are like the retractable ones. You don't have to sharpen them. It just looks like new packaging too. Like CoverGirl's kind of just repackaging their new, or no, not their new, like their existing products. So it has like the cap is the same color as far as what the color is inside, and then you twist it up. And then there is your product right there. I do like how it's a slanted tip. I do like that because it makes it really easy to draw your line. Then it fades and it kind of blends in. It doesn't go outside any type of lines, doesn't feather. At least my experience hasn't been that. The lip liners are not drying. They're not like too creamy. They're kind of like right in the middle. So they're good liners. They work well. And then all the lipsticks. I want to say there are about 45 of them. It's a lot. It's like I don't have to buy lipstick ever again. So I just put them in this container. These are all the creams right here. And then they also have metallics and then a demi matte formula. Don't tip over. So all these colors. I'm not really a metallic, like the metallic lipstick, liquid lipstick. I'm not that girl. So I don't even want to touch those. So I don't know how the metallic lipstick is, but I just want to see if it's like overly shimmery, overly too gritty. I'm not hanging with that. And then this is the demi matte style here. Same thing with this. If this formula is like the Katy Kat lipsticks, those, I like that formula because it's right there in the middle. It's not matte, it's not creamy, it's just right there in the middle. And they actually do last long. But the creams is where it's at. The creams are fantastic. It's like that creamy matte feeling, just creamy. And again, new packaging too versus their other lipsticks. I think they're a little bit more boxier. And this one is a name I actually recognize, Coffee Crave. I remember the old Coffee Crave lipstick, and I do have an old one. It's actually in my declutter box here for lipsticks. So that is the color. So I immediately was like, oh, I gotta open this one up. Lipsticks smell like a faint vanilla smell. Nice. What do you think? What was your favorite from what you saw? What did you hate? The red light is flashing. I gotta be quick. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day or evening. And as always, I'm gonna see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.